Greetings, the world of the internet. I am the great Matthew Squeak, and welcome to Squirrel Talk Review. A little backstory to this one. You'll know that list we all have of things we would brutally annihilate if we ever had the chance as ruler of the world. Well, I was going through my list, making plans of how I would dispose of each of them when the time comes, when I came across a name I didn't recognize. Ricky Sprocket.
Ricky Sprocket!
Look, this is a very special list. In order to be put on the list of things that need to be brutally annihilated, it needs to have greatly offended me personally in some manner. For example, Equestria Girls is not on this list because, well, terrifying and full of cheesy high school drama tropes, it was just a dumb idea from the start. However, She's Out is on this list because it murdered the hub. The Emoji Movie is not on the list because, while a completely terrible, awful movie, that's just it. It's just a terrible movie that should be avoided. But the Shyamalan Last Airbender deserves to be dipped in lava, dropped from an airplane, smashed repeatedly by a boulder, and whatever's left thrown on an anchor and dropped in the depths of the sea for desecrating a beloved childhood show. So why is this on the list? Well, my curiosity is piqued, and I thought, why not make a show out of it? Let's all find out together why so many years ago I gave a Ricky Sprocket the death penalty. And who knows, this could be its one chance to be exonerated from a cruel and unusual to-be-determined form of execution. Let's start with the opening.
Ricky Sprocket! Ricky Sprocket!
You'll know those kinds of shows that want to make sure that you know just how terrible the show is before it even starts? That's what we're in for here. The show's animation already looks bad, but here they throw a whopping zero effort into design, and oh, these lyrics.
Ricky Sprocket! Ricky Sprocket!
How long did it take you to come up with that? So now off to a rotten start, the episode, The Screen Kiss, we meet Ricky Sprocket, who is the world's best child actor. Just in case you didn't get that from the opening.
Ha! Eat my dust, suckers!
With the whiniest, most annoying voice they could find. So today he's playing a cowboy, fleeing from these unsavory fellows, and he makes a daring escape up some cliffs, only to get back on the plains with the goons still on his trail. No, look, I'm already questioning the consistency of the background movie. And the movie ends with him presumably falling to his death. So far, it's a pretty good movie in my book.
Beautiful! Let's go for one more!
But Mr. Corporate Executive here feels something is missing. He's not the writer, he's not the director, he's just the overpaid studio owner. So that gives him the right to change the movie however he likes. I'm sure we can all think of at least one movie that was ruined by the likes of him. So for your convenience, you may now throw tomatoes at his head. Oh wait, don't do this on screens you like. Darn it. So, what's wrong with the movie aside from these gangsters being nothing but stock footage? Why, they're taking a page right out of the Disney playbook in that you must have a love interest in everything you do.
He falls in love with the rancher's daughter? Aww! Who's gonna play her?
And she will be played by his eternal rival and just as ugly and self-centered as he is, Kitten.
Look, you aren't on the top of my list either, but this is great for the both of us, so just suck it up and pucker it up.
And you may be saying to yourself, doesn't she sound familiar? Why, yes, she does.
Surprise!
So since Mr. Producer over here has decided it, so shall it be. And Ricky begrudgingly accepts his fate.
My precious daughter's career deserves a 5-second kiss.
5 seconds?
5 seconds? These kids are like, what, 10? Nobody wants to watch 10-year-olds make out.
Ew! Yuck, puke city!
Quick, somebody give me some mouthwash.
No way! 4 seconds and a hug.
Hugging? There's no hugging in this script.
I'll do 1 second, and that's it.
1.5.
Done.
And we're going to go ahead and raise the creepiness levels to thought it was a ghost, but hopefully it was the dog. Now with his first big screen kiss on the way, Ricky is naturally a little nervous. So he does what any other normal boy would do, ask his friends that have no experience for their expertise.
You guys have, kissed a girl before, right?
Huh? Oh, sure. All the time.
Yeah, me too. Every day.
I don't like the way he's fantasizing there. And we're gonna bump the creepiness to regular unexplained noises in the dark.
They say too much kissing makes your lips fall off.
You don't have lips. With this lazy animation, you either get caveman buck teeth or freakishly oversized lipstick. But everyone gets those same upturned noses.
I just can't get my nose right.
This one time, my cousin Tyrell was kissing this girl and their braces locked.
None of you have braces. This is not relevant. And with that, the peer group is a complete and utter bust. Meanwhile, Bucktooth Kitten here goes on TV to advertise the upcoming movie, where she does this.
Sorry, Vanessa. There's no way I'm going to tell you that our on-screen relationship has blossomed into a real-life romance. Oops.
Now, I've watched this entire damn DVD. And every other time, she's a self-centered, unlikable brat that's only looking out for number one. This seems way out of character for her, as she's never interested in Ricky again, and this won't make her look good when Ricky says the exact opposite, and it doesn't ruin Ricky's life. So, trust me, this is her most tolerable episode.
What's all that commotion about?
Ricky's kissing Kitten in his cowboy movie.
Kissing? Leonard, I think showbiz is forcing our boy to grow up too fast.
Sometimes I wonder, was this meant to be in some way or form a satire to the movie industry? It certainly has its moments, like showing us how aggressively pain-in-the-butt paparazzi can be. But then it does stuff like this.
Oh, I don't know, Bunny. Maybe Ricky just takes after his dad.
Well, there goes my appetite.
Oh, and this is Ethel, Ricky's sister. The typical uninvested, uninterested in anything going on character. I like to think she's aware of how bad this show is and can't wait for the cameras to stop filming.
Ethel, honey, do you know where my dummy is?
Dad's in the garage, Ricky's in his room. Take your pick.
Back to Ricky. After getting some advice from the school's drama teacher, I guess that's who this is,
When faced with a seemingly impossible task, one must do what every professional actor does.
Hide in the bathroom?
No, research!
he goes to get some research.
I can't take any more. Kiss and tell. Kiss and tell me later. The kissinator? The longest kiss?
And the creep factor is now at plates and dishes are flying around the living room. What else could they do next?
I guess I have to rehearse. But with who?
Ethel! Ethel!
No, really bad idea.
Because why not? Really, why not? This show wasn't nearly creepy and weird enough. Let's add incest to the mix. And oh look, we've crossed the line into penguin stalker territory. Ricky, you need to cool it. Ricky creates a practice dummy to practice his kissing, and puts a heaping amount of lipstick on it for some reason. I'd expect giving it the mouth, but this seems so excessive, and thanks to Stalkerazzi out here, Ricky finds himself on the front page. See what I mean? Taking pictures of absolute nothing, and still making it news. And that is prompting Dad to give his son a heart-to-heart talk.
Now, Ricky, playing the field may seem like fun at first. But a girl like this who rolls into town, passing from one boy to the next, always on the rebound,
Or whatever this is, could have had a serious moment, could have pushed the bar above ground level, could have at least made it funnier and had fun with it. Instead, the whole thing with the parents goes absolutely nowhere and is just as unamusing as the rest of the show. Next scene. Ricky's off to film his big scene, but right before the big moment,
How dare you two
You were never together! You made this whole thing up to make yourself popular. And guess what? It backfired. Lying to the media backfired on you. And this childish tantrum of yours is a great way to get thrown off of the movie. And guess what? She gets thrown off of the movie. Justice served, I guess. But there's one last issue to take care of.
Listen, kid. People are coming to the theater to see you kiss at the end of a movie. I want to see a kiss, or you can kiss your career goodbye.
But the girl's been fired. Who's he supposed to kiss at this point? The horse? And we are now at full-on demon-possessed bleeding walls. Get the freak out of there levels of creepiness. This episode is not well at all. Ricky is annoying. Kitty even more so. And while all of these questionable scenes may have been intended as harmless, why is there so many of them? I can barely stand watching another second of this show, but I still can't remember why it's on death row. I guess we're going to have to watch part 2, but maybe, just maybe, I took some notes somewhere that could save us all the trouble. I'm going to go check. I'll be right back. No luck. All I found in my notes was, die Ricky Sprocket a couple dozen times. What did this show do? So, this is its last time to redeem itself, so let's jump into part 2 of episode of this terrible DVD, The Boy King. We see Ricky Sprocket practicing for his latest role, where he plays, well, the Boy King, and is practicing bossing his family around the house.
Royal Mother, bring the king his pancakes now!
Oh, what's with her? Been that way all week. Yesterday she fell asleep in the bathroom. It wasn't pretty.
And she's not the only one. Dad is also chugging along half asleep as well. So why are these two so tired? Well, it could... Oh, wait. I just remembered how freaky the last episode was, so I don't want to know. So, back at Wishworks Studios... Wishworks? Were you hoping for an eventual Fairly Odd Parents crossover? You may have had the Bucktooth thing down, but at the time when this aired, they were still way out of your league. Nowadays, though, yeah, no one would even care. On the set of Boy King...
Yo, dudes, what is up?
Cut!
Is this kid really the best actor out there? He's king of a tropical island, and he just said, dude, what's up? It's called basic acting. And I'm pretty sure your script did not say, dude, what's up? And Mr. Producer is not too happy with his lack of skills.
What do you want me to do? Send you and your family to Winky Winky so you can find out who he is?
You know, Mr. Fishburger, there's a reason people call you a genius.
So off he and his family go to the far-off island of...
Winky Winky!
To meet, you'll never guess, the actual Boy King of...
Winky Winky!
And this now brings up some questions. The movie is apparently being made about this guy. So what did this kid do to have a movie made about him? Did he save his island from a natural disaster? Did he try and change the social norms in the face of scrutiny? We never find out, do we? Because watching a king be kingly is enough in this boringly made world of stuck-up noses. So the family happily moves in.
Ah! Look, Ricky! His little costume is just like the one I made you for Halloween when you were 5!
And they were immediately thrown back onto the plane and off the island and banished from ever returning. Okay, so that didn't happen, but if you were in the king's shoes, isn't that what you would have done? I know, I would have just had her executed on the spot. So in this tropical island of bras made out of fruit, Boy Kings gives them a tour in a car. Because of course he has a car. And Ethel, who's still very sick from her flight, tags along. But turns out that movie stars are far more popular than royalty, and they also have TV in this barbarish-isk nation. And this makes Boy King, who I just realized has no other name other than Boy King, very jealous. And he decides to continue the tour with just Ethel. still looking rather bad. But this pale, vomiting Lucy ripoff is apparently Boy King's fetish. Why is this show so freaky? And he starts putting the moves on her.
Consider it a gift.
At least I think that's what he's doing. They have no skills in writing chemistry at all. Ricky goes to whine to his parents, and they just ignore him. Which is another problem of this show, I've noticed. Ethel constantly acts like a butt to her brother when he's trying to do something work-related. And the parents just ignore it and let her get away with it. The only thing we learn from this scene is...
Yeah, well, maybe I'm not the Luka Puka Nue Pookie Snooky type.
Whatever that was supposed to mean. Guess everyone's allergic to lotion. Back at the palace, Boy King continues to act like a jerk to the kid who's going to be portraying him on TV. And drops a big bombshell.
Your sister has graciously agreed to join me on the throne of Winky Winky. I know it's a bit fast, but I'm getting on in this.
And Ethel is absolutely thrilled that the scene is over. And Ricky is thrown into the dungeon. You really wanted this movie to be made, didn't you? It was all your idea. You really want your best foot forward in Hollywood. So now, locked in the dungeon, our whiny squawk box uncovers an ancient prophecy.
The queen shall produce 20 children and then be sacrificed to the gods on her 20th birthday? Huh? And her parents shall be fattened up like hogs and catapulted into the ocean for the god of the sea? Wait, I can't believe this. This is just like the movie.
Yep, somehow some egg-headed writers all the way in another country knew about a secret prophecy of barbaric sacrificial ceremony of killing all of the in-laws. What's more, they also know about the secret exit. So did these writers come all the way and ask for a tour of the dungeon, or did the locals read the script and say, hey, that sounds like a great way to build a dungeon. Put in a secret escape. So he continues to read the script, expecting it to lead him through his adventures. Isn't this out of a Twilight Zone episode or something?
And it's here that he meets his friend and guide, Marmutzi, the trustworthy howler monkey. Oh, this is too good. Hey there, buddy. Ready to help me save my family?
So he tries to warn his parents, but like always, they just ignore everything he says. But they give him an idea.
Suntan lotion?
Is lotion made out of tropicans? Is lotion people? I'll take 3. No, in case you missed it both times around, trust me, you're not alone. Putting lotion on his face causes him to strongly resemble the island's ancient tiki god that we never see. I mean, it was so obvious. I can't believe that nobody caught on. So obvious. So after donning his disguise, he presents himself to the natives, filling them with terror and respect. And with a mighty voice, he commands,
What terrible fate will befall us?
okay, kid, look, this is easy. It's just a little improv. A little smite and doomsday talk, and command them to let your family go.
The truth is, I'm no god. I'm just Ricky Sprocket.
Damn it, kid! You can't even do that right! You had the whole island bowing at your feet, ready to do anything you command, and you blow it! How are you remotely the best kid actor? How are you remotely a good actor, period? But the natives are morons. They don't buy it. They still think he's a god. So in order to get off the island alive, Ricky bribes the islanders with stuff. And as for the happy couple,
The engagement is off.
I guess that wraps that up. Don't worry, it's just as obvious as the lotion was. And we end on Ricky Sprocket finally learning how a king truly acts. Like a self-centered nuthole, which is what we all thought he'd be like at the beginning of this show. Ricky Sprocket, Showbiz Boy, has to be without a doubt the worst Nicktoon I've ever seen. For one thing, Ricky is a self-centered brat through most of it, And the rest of the cast isn't much better. The plots are boring, unimaginative, and I might add, sloppily written. None of the humor works. They either don't go far enough with their satire, if that's what they were doing, or just fill the void with as many cheap, dumb gags as they could find. Oh, and this cruddy design. What's with all the buck teeth? What's with all the upturned noses? Everything looks so simply thrown together to try and make a quick buck. And it all adds up to being a long, aggravating, boring show. No wonder I don't remember much of this show. They must have swept this thing under the rug in a hurry. But in all of its terribleness, all its unlikable characters, I still don't remember why I wanted to destroy it. It's bad. It's really bad. But that doesn't constitute destruction. In fact, before this review, I don't think I've ever seen this show. Not one episode. I watched this whole horrible DVD. And I got nothing. So, unless something pops up in the next few seconds, we're going to have to wrap this thing up. Though, wait. That's it. I remember now what it did. I remember why so many people vowed to never watch this program. Allow us to take a trip down memory lane, shall we? Many years ago, imagine a dashing young squirrel rushing home to the TV to watch premiere episodes of his all-time favorite show, Avatar: The Last Airbender. All is good. All is right with the world. But oh, what's this? A little banner at the bottom of the screen advertising a new show. It mattered not. I'm having a good time, and it doesn't cover... what the freaking hell? I can't see. You are blocking the screen. I'm missing my Get your freaking butt off my screen! I screamed in rage every single time this ad appears. I had to rewatch the episode 3 times before I finally felt like I'd seen what I missed. And it wasn't just Avatar. You like SpongeBob? Too bad. You like Danny Phantom? Too bad. You like The Fairly Odd Parents? Too freaking bad. No wonder I never remember this thing airing. It managed to tick off every single Nicktoons fan... Why did they think this was a good idea? Who thought covering 3/4 of the screen was a good idea? And this was before the YouTube era, where there was a little X on the side of the screen. When you see this banner, you know he's coming, and there's not a thing you can do about it. So my final word is absolutely never watch Ricky Sprocket. It's just completely awful program, but an insult to Nicktoons everywhere. And if you'll excuse me, I have a destiny to fulfill. I am the great Matthew Squeak, and this is Squirrel Talk Review. Thank my loyal subjects for watching. Please like and subscribe to the program. You may also support the channel here on Patreon. And if you excuse me, there is many more sufferings for Ricky Sprocket to be had.